Epilogue. Felda Schliek's imposing office conveyed prestige through lavish furnishings and an immaculate view of the capital city. As minister for the aligned core district, Felda was a pillar of strength and authority in the United Confederation. His enormous frame cast an imposing shadow, accentuated by broad shoulders and impressive stature. Felda's penetrating purple eyes and slimy, scaly skin marked him as a Zalasian, though his meticulous grooming reflected someone aware of his position. Nothing escaped Felda's notice, every detail thoroughly planned and precisely executed. The doors slid open, and a young human male briskly entered, his footsteps muffled by the plush carpeting. "Minister Schliek," he began in hushed tones, "I'm afraid Krestov has resigned his post, effective immediately." Though he was delivering pressing news, the aide's composure reflected crisp professionalism. Felda nodded, steepling his fingers. "Unfortunate. Krestov has proved quite competent." His gravelly voice remained steady despite this disruption. "Tell me, what prompted his sudden departure?" The minister knew exactly why Krestov resigned. It wasn't a secret to Felda that a hacker had exposed his senior aide's involvement in some nefarious dealings, and as soon as that came out, the minister had expected a letter of resignation. The aide hesitated. "He provided no details, sir." "I see." Felda's probing gaze assessed the nervous aide. "And you are?" "Paxson Vale, sir. They selected me this morning as your new senior aide." Felda smiled. "Welcome, Paxson. Your discretion speaks well of you." He paused, considering the situation. "Have our preparations continued unabated?" "Yes, sir. All remains on schedule." "Excellent. Then let us not dwell on this upset. There is much work to be done." Paxson nodded, standing straight. "Of course, Minister. I won't fail you." Felda regarded him. "See that you don't." His eyes glinted with resolve. The hacker known as Greennet had proven elusive. Without a trace, even the pre-programmed tracking AI could not reach the man. Felda refused to be thwarted. Order would prevail, and progress would march on. He had vowed it. Felda leaned back in his plush chair. Steepling his fingers once more, he assessed the young aide before him. Though Paxson appeared competent, the timing of his predecessor's resignation upset the minister. Krestov had been privy to many secrets, yet chose now to depart without explanation. "Tell me, Paxson, what do you know of Greennet?" Paxson's eyes widened in surprise before he collected himself. "Only rumors, Minister. They say he's behind the disruptions plaguing the Confederation's networks, but his identity and motives remain unknown." Felda nodded. "A shadowy irritant eluding capture." He smiled coldly. "But nothing slips by unnoticed for long." At that moment, a priority alert flashed on Felda's desk. He glanced down, frowning. Greennet had struck again, releasing classified files on the Confederation's secret renewal project. Felda's fists clenched before he regained composure. "It seems our mysterious foe remains quite active." Felda turned to Paxson. "They tasked Special Agent Doran with investigating this matter discreetly. Contact him immediately and assess the damage." "Right away, sir." Paxson turned for the door. Alone again, Felda stared out his wide office window overlooking the capital. Greennet thought himself so clever, but in the end, he was just another person who would prevent the forward march of progress. The minister knew the people's will, and he knew he would provide the guidance the people needed. The future belonged to him. Felda gazed at the sprawling metropolis, its towering skyscrapers glinting in the morning light. The capital seemed orderly, efficiently going about its business. But Felda knew undercurrents always threatened to bubble up and disrupt the calm surface. Greennet's antics were the latest manifestation of this chaos. Felda's jaw tightened as he considered the classified files now leaked across the networks for any curious citizen to peruse. Renewal was his crowning achievement, ushering in a new era of progress and prosperity for the Confederation. Yet here was this meddling hacker, this wrench in the gears, threatening to derail it all. Felda turned as Paxson re-entered, slightly out of breath. "Report." Felda's voice was flat. "It's worse than we thought, sir. The files detail the whole renewal timeline, resource allocation and everything. If this gets out—" "Yes. Mass panic over revelations before proper messaging is in place," Felda interrupted, with a grim expression on his face. He paused, steepling his fingers in thought. Paxson waited with a nervous expression and posture. Finally, Felda looked up, eyes glinting. "Here is what we will do. First, initiate Protocol Z to scrub all copies of the leaked data. Next, put our media contacts on notice to spin any mention of renewal as a feeble attempt at destroying the faith in and the pristine record of the SLPS and the UC as a whole." Then he added under his breath, "Not that they need the guidance." As Felda issued crisp orders, Paxson marveled at his boss's unflappability in crisis times. While others scrambled in reaction, Felda swiftly adjusted his strategy. It was this remarkable cunning that had made him an undisputed leader among his peers. Come what may, Felda would bend any circumstance to his will. The future was his to shape. Felda outlined the following steps when the priority alert flashed on his desk console. GreenNet had struck again. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly as he tapped the notification. "Report," he commanded the agent, who appeared on the screen. "Sir, GreenNet has released the secure renewal data. Those are stored on ancient servers in backwater systems. Maybe that can help find this guy," the agent said with nervous energy evident in his mannerisms. Paxson paled, but Felda steepled his fingers again, betraying no hint of surprise or dismay. A long silence followed as he analyzed this new variable, calculating adaptations to his strategy, even as chaos threatened to erupt. He looked up, eyes glinting. "Here is what we will do. If possible, back up all the data, then initiate Protocol Black to purge the compromised servers fully. Contact our engineers to rebuild security measures from the ground up and better. The game has changed." As Felda issued new orders with trademark acumen, Paxson released the breath he'd been holding. Once again, the minister analyzed, adapted, and asserted control where others saw only turmoil. Felda's leadership would steer them through this crisis towards the shining future that was still the goal. The Confederation's progress was in steady hands. After formulating a response, Felda dispatches Paxson on a crucial mission to address this chaotic disruption by the hidden opponent. "Paxson, you must leave immediately for Cygnus HQ. Keep this operation confidential. You are to find a man at Thepal. His name is Widow. Give him this," Felda ordered, handing his new senior aide an encrypted chit. Paxson nodded, filled with purpose. The minister had entrusted him with a vital task in this shadowy conflict against their faceless foe. He would not fail. In his office, Felda took pride in his leadership role and guiding the Confederation through chaos. As the door slid shut behind Paxson, Felda turned to survey the cityscape stretching below his tower office. The panoramic view was a testament to his achievements in bringing prosperity here, but there was still so much potential yet to be unlocked. Felda allowed himself a thin smile. He had spun many webs, with threads stretching across the Confederation worlds. Though the hacker known as GreenNet lurked in the shadows, no one could match the minister for cunning and control. The chaotic disruptions were but temporary setbacks. His vision marched steadily onward.